Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to the greatest podcast on all mankind called Geek Off the Street. But one of the greatest podcasts known to all mankind, because as you can see, we have some special guests today. We have Austin, we have Ray from Nerd Lounge 2.0.
Hello.
Greetings, and salutations. So first of all, thank you guys for coming on the show. That's appreciated. Yeah, 100%. You know, you guys got a standing invitation.
Thanks for the invite. Yeah, that same goes to you. You know, I literally am like thinking like we're probably just gonna do a bunch of videos, just always be hanging out. Hopefully, you know, that's the plan.
Next week your house, next week our house.
Right, we'll just keep jumping back and forth. You keep up. Now, if you're watching or listening right now, you probably noticed something. Like one, the energy feels a lot better because we have these great, fantastic guests. But there's something else that's making the show just that much better. Where's Trent? That's it. It feels better. It feels right. It feels good. Like feels like this is how it should have been all along. Me in the center with good, talented co-host. It's so nice to have a talented co-host for once. I'm just going to tell you right now.
It's tough to get good help these days.
It is, and so I appreciate you right now. But Trent actually signed up to be with part of the Sky program with Jeff Bezos, that Blue Sky thing. So.
That's crazy.
He's somewhere above us right now.
Looking down on us.
And judging us. So, Trent, come home safe. But anyways, Trent is not with us today, but he's with us in spirit. He knows we love him. But today we're going to be talking about the recently movie. It came out as of this report, as of right now. Yeah. So not that long, just a couple days ago, but we're talking about the new Thunderbolts movie from Marvel.
The Thunderbolts!
Bam! Or the new Avengers, as they also call themselves in that. So, but we're going to get into that and so much more. But first of all, how are you both doing? You're both good? You're both...
We're doing real good. I actually brought some gifts.
What?
For our friends here. So I'm sorry that Trent is not here to receive his. But
I'll take his.
Because on our episode, we talked about... one of the questions was, what's your guys' favorite Marvel hero?
Uh-huh.
And... Marshana bought this cool calendar, and all the calendars for every month had like pictures on them, and you could take the pictures off and like, you know, keep them as individual photographs. Or
okay.
I got one. I put it in a frame. It is a picture of Daredevil.
Oh wow, nice!
So a cool little framed image of Daredevil here, and it says, "But perhaps lovely Karen Page wouldn't find it so strange if she could see the sightless, somewhat shy Matt Murdock right now."
That sounds like such old school dialogue.
Yeah, all the images are from like the old school comics and stuff. So, so we found that. So this is for our best friend Trent.
Aww.
And for our friend Mark.
That's me.
I am. Rashawn and I are both getting into trying to read more comics. You know, because people are talking. How can you have an opinion if you don't know comics? You know. So Mark's answer for this question was Nova. So I found this cool little hobby shop down the street from kind of where I work. Wow. And I found a comic, and it is the Realm of Kings version, or issue 33 of Nova.
Wow, that looks great too.
So I did read it. Okay. I opened it up, so it's not, you know.
And he made some notes.
I did read it. It's very cool. This specific issue is about like Nova and Fantastic Four and a guy named Darkhawk.
Yes, I read some Darkhawk back in the day.
And Black Bolt and Reed Richards, and they get pulled into like some alternate dimension by this guy named the Pharaoh, or no, the Sphinx. The Sphinx. So yeah, So
that's like his Nova's first main villain.
Yeah. So it was called like the War of Kings or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like a Sphinx. But there's like an old timeline Sphinx, and
he's
then
he's like, give it to me
a new
right now.
Timeline Sphinx, and they're like fighting each other. And stuff like that.
My stars and garters!
It's pretty much like a to be continued. Like the next issues go into it. I only found the one, unfortunately. But
that's okay.
As soon as I seen Nova and as soon as I seen Daredevil, I'm like, you know what? Mark and Trent.
Done.
You guys are lucky because I never get gifts.
I got you flowers.
I got you something.
I was like, I know you love them because you surprises. What? This is unheard of.
Man, you put some work into that, man. So
I'll take notes on myself and I'll
he's gonna improve himself.
Now this is in their podcast, so Keep it running.
Right now it's official. It's official. Nah, but man, I love that, and I know Trent loves that too. So, man, on behalf of both of us, man, and lady, thank you both. We appreciate that, man. That's super cool.
Yeah, I thought you guys would appreciate that.
Oh man,
I just bought the frame. That's it.
Yes.
Hey, that counts.
That's all.
That counts.
And you brought the calendar that came
And the
from.
calendar.
Yeah.
It just gets better and better.
There you go.
Man, as soon as I heard you say Sphinx, man, I swear
Is
my
he like
eyes-
the main Nova villain?
Yeah. But he's kind of in and out. He's never been like, I think they kind of got rid of him and they never brought him back, kind of thing. So
yeah, that issue is from I want to say 2010.
Okay, cool. So it'll be easy to track. Well, in theory, easy to track down the rest of them. They're already out. I don't have to wait for it. So
sure.
That's a great start, though. I appreciate that so much.
Mark's gonna be like in his bed under the covers of the flashlight, like
Yeah.
a 10-year-old little kid reading it.
That's not a lie. All right, I'll put it down here for now, I guess.
No problem.
I am looking forward to that. I did not mention what we were drinking today. So normally, we do like a cocktail. We throw in some alcohol and that kind of thing. But that is all due to Trent. And like I've said a million times on the show, he's got a disease. And since he's not here today, we just made a refreshing mocktail, basically called like the honey blackberry mint mocktail. It's got what we got in some lemon juice. We've got some honey,
blackberry muddle,
some mint, water, and topped it off with some seltzer water. But it's very light, very refreshing. It's got a strong. The lemon flavor is fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be using actual lemon, from now on, unless I forget. And then we, like I said, so this is like a simple little drink. You can make this if you're, having company or whatever, and you don't want to do anything too strong or too crazy. This is a good way to go. So
you can make this thing and put it in like a pitcher.
Yeah, just hang on to
like
it.
a pitcher of this thing, and
as it sits, that honey flavor comes through really well. It's very good, very
tasty.
refreshing.
Very tasty.
So watch the video on us making it and enjoy it, love it, and let's get to Thunderbolts. So essentially, like Thunderbolts, like a quick little breakdown. It's it's a ragtag group of I don't know, they're not heroes, but anti-villains is almost a way to think of it, because it's got U.S. Agent Walker, who you saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So he has he's trying to be a good guy, he's trying to do the right thing, and he gets that super soldier serum, and he kind of turns out a little wrong, a little bad, doesn't take very well. It's got Elena, who's part of the Red Room Black Widow program. It's got Ghost from
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, thank you, sir. So it's got all these characters that were never really good guys. They weren't necessarily evil all the time, but and they all kind of get together. They're kind of thrown into a situation where they're about to be eliminated, and they realize they got to work together. So they kind of team up to take on the big bad, which is the leader of the CIA. Whatever her name was, something.
Valentina.
Yeah,
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
De Fontaine.
Don't forget the de.
Don't forget the de.
Yes.
Which was cool. So, so that's what Thunderbolts is about in a nutshell. About this, again, it's like a ragtag group kind of coming together. So, not a completely original concept, but maybe it works for this movie. What did you guys think? Any positives?
Do you want to go into the? Okay, so you can start.
What?
You want to start?
Want to do a rating?
We'll start with positive. Should we do?
What did you like about it?
Or is the rating? The rating comes later.
Yeah, we'll rate it at the end.
What did I like about it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I liked, honestly, a lot of things about this movie.
Me too.
Nice.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the action was really nice. I thought the characters played up pretty well. Music was good. The kids danced, so that always makes me happy.
The kids liked it. Nice.
Yeah, not like I thought it was a decent film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have too many negatives about it either.
Yeah, I know when I actually ended up watching it twice. I watched it on Thursday night, and then I watched it again on Friday just to see if I kind of, saw anything new or saw anything different. I didn't really see too much different, or didn't change my opinion that much more. But I will say I think I ended up liking it a little bit more after watching it the second time, and not that I didn't like it the first time. So. I think some of my positives, one of my positives is that I loved that they put the Sentry in this movie. He's kind of been a bit of an underground character. I don't think a lot of people know who he is. He's not one of the big names like, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, all that kind of thing.
He's like a newer character. I was looking it up. He's
relatively,
he he was like first released in like 2010 or 2000 or something like that.
Right.
Like later on enough that he's not one of like the original 60s, 70s, 80s characters.
Yeah. And the funny thing too about his backstory is they kind of said that he was one of those original superheroes from the 60s and 70s, like from back in the day.
Oh.
The weird thing is though, and it's like this fourth wall kind of break, that he was so powerful, and I think he was worried about his own power and about hurting people, that he wiped out everybody's minds, so they forgot about him. And it was so powerful, it wiped out the minds of the Marvel writers and artists. So even that's how powerful the Sentry is. That's the I don't know if that's supposed to be canon. That's super annoying, but it's funny that they're trying to say like, yeah, he's always been here. He's always been like the most powerful hero, but he just kind of went incognito and he wiped out everybody's mind, including ours. That's the writers. I'm like, dude, you guys need to stop. But that sounds like some Stan Lee would be like, yeah, do that. I love it. I love it. So it's interesting that, yeah, you talked about he wasn't one of these originals, but, you know, according to Marvel, maybe he kind of is. But yeah, he is such a phenomenally powerful character, like to the point where it's like you can't really make a compelling story with him because his power level is so intense. And when Valentino said, you know, like he's stronger than all the Avengers put together, that may not be a lie. That may not be a lie. I remember a comic book issue where he was working with the Thunderbolts doing this thing or whatever, and some of the other heroes were going in to try to stop him or whatever. And I think, I want to say like back in the day, Trent and RJ said it was somebody else, but I remember seeing it where there was another god that was working, with the good guys, Ares, god of war of all things. And he goes at the Sentry trying to fight him. The Sentry grabs him, picks him up, and rips him apart.
Jeez.
Like, there was no, like, let me make a little nick, let me cut into you. He just forcefully just had an arm, had a leg, and just ripped him in half.
Wow.
Guts everywhere.
That's crazy.
That's how powerful it is, that he could do that to a god.
Yeah. Not even like a demigod, like an actual god of war.
Yeah, like the actual god of war just dropped him. I'd be like, I don't know what you want, but you can have it. I'm going home. So, I was looking forward to seeing some of the Sentry in that. And then that void where he turns, where he goes all black at the end of it, too. That's an actual thing, too. So I feel like it's more of a cosmic thing, but I like how they did it in this movie.
They kind of it seemed like they kept it grounded a little bit.
Exactly. It makes it I don't know, it's more palatable. Like, you can accept it more if it is more grounded, if it's just him being crazy, and his crazy kind of comes into play, which it does, especially towards the end of the movie, which I thought was cool too. So any other positives?
My positives were the team chemistry. I did love at the end that Sentry is like this kind of crazy, outlandish character, but he does have like relatable qualities, like the balance between the Sentry and the Void. It's kind of like, I was thinking like manic depressive symbolism and things like that. Like you have like good days and bad days and things, and people can probably relate to that. And then another one that I wrote was the action sequences are very entertaining. Some of them are short, but they're like necessarily short. They kind of like help keep driving the movie forward. And Florence Pugh, I thought I carried the entire movie. Right,
yeah, she was the that emotional, that heart of the movie. Yeah, definitely. So, what else did I like? I mean, I know he's kind of an annoying character, but I do like Red Guardian.
I love Red Guardian.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes tone it down a little bit, but I mean, his excitement was, it's kind of contagious. You know what I mean? Is you're seeing how happy and excited he is for something, you get that way too.
When you go from like those really intense moments with him to like the really soft and sweet moments with Yelena, you get that balance there.
Yeah.
He does tone it down, and then he kind of picks it back up like a stupid song, or but it's just like to make his daughter smile, just to make her happy, feel better. So I think there was a little bit of good balance with that. I love the parts when he was out there
being crazy. I like it too when he's like being obnoxious, but then he's like also he reels it back in very effectively.
Yeah.
Like especially when like So we're doing. This is apparently a spoiler discussion.
Yeah,
We're
spoilers
doing mad
in
spoilers
3,
here.
2, yes.
But when Yelena walks like into the void and he like kind of loses it.
Yeah,
I thought it was very, very good. And the reason why I thought that it was very good was because Ray cried a little bit, but our daughter Sophia also
she was
cried.
in tears.
She was like crying.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, if you're
when
like,
she walked into the void, or
Yeah.
when like Red Guardian was like losing it, and at the very end when Bob is like punching the void and like getting pulled into the void himself,
And they all go to like hug.
and they all go to like
hug
bring him out. She was like crying. She was like literally crying. So I'm like, if you're making like a compelling enough story for kids to cry about, then I think you're doing something right.
Yeah, wow.
It's probably not hard for kids to be like, oh yeah, cool. It's like flashing and there's like a big action, but it's like if you're making a kid cry, then it's like then it becomes relatable to all demographics.
Yeah, man, I love hearing that she was able to, you know what I mean, appreciate that situation, what was happening right now. That's what he needed, and that, I guess that's a like I have about this too. Is I think the first time I watched it, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't, I was kind of expecting maybe more of a big fight, kind of sequence towards the end of it, kind of thing. I was hoping we were going to see more of them fighting Sentry. Again, it would have been very one-sided, but I would have liked to have seen them, making the attempt. But I do like that the way to fix this problem wasn't through, like what Yolanda says. So all we do is shoot and punch, or is that all we do?
Yeah.
So I liked the fact that they wrapped up this story, that they were able to overcome the main conflict just through support, through supporting each other, and the fact that they all went into the void, they all literally, they all jumped into, death, pretty much, as far as they knew.
Eternal darkness.
Yeah, they all went into it. So I did like that moment where, Yelena and Bob are together in the room, and, the room's coming, coming apart at them. And then all of a sudden, Winter Soldier, U.S. agent come
they
breaking
all bust in.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all there. So that's I did like that. Let's see. Any other pauses? What else did you guys?
I mean,
you like the action?
The action was good. I thought the writing was good. I actually really enjoyed John Walker. I thought he was kind of like a little schmarmy dude in like Falcon and Winter Soldier. It wasn't my favorite. I think Wyatt Russell's a great actor, but I thought he was great in this movie.
Yeah,
I thought he was awesome. I thought he was hilarious.
I do love that they didn't pinpoint, like, they didn't give him like too much of the camera light. Like he's there, but he's not like having overly arrogant conversations. Like he says like a couple of snarky things, but it's not like a prolonged thing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like you kind of, and then like he doesn't really tell anyone like what's really going on with him. He's just like, oh, I get up, I go to work, my wife and my kid.
Yeah.
But his wife and his kid are not even
in his life at that point in time. Until
we find out that like Sentry can like sense memories or something.
Yeah. He can kind of go into their minds and find their I guess one
their
of the
pain.
Like
some of the worst
like
moments.
Yeah.
So I did have a question. Was in the very end of this movie, when people get pulled into the void. Oh, but you're saying he erases memories. So did everyone that get pulled into the void like live through those traumatic memories and they get pulled out, or did it get erased? Because like when Bob came out, he was like, "Oh, what happened?" So did everyone else just kind of have that similar like hive mind like memory erased exposure of like I don't, because like they were all living through traumatic memories like Yelena did initially, and then she found like Bob and his memories. So does that mean like that little girl that got pulled in when Red Guardian saved her is like living traumatic memories, or did we get our memory erased?
That's a good question.
I think it's just a Bob thing. I think that everyone probably is like, what the hell just happened? But like, if this takes place in the timeline of Black Widow already being dead, then the blip happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's been aliens 1,000 times. Like, oh, what the hell happened? Oh, just some regular schmegular stuff.
It's Tuesday, right?
It's Tuesday
in New York.
Because I think it's only Bob, because when they were in the first scene and they were in the building all together, and he was like, sometimes things happen and I don't remember afterwards. So I think that's just like a him thing. Like his mind kind of erases itself.
Well, that's like a Sentry Void thing. It's like it's like protecting the mind, the singular mind, because they both. It's like a split personality thing.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, because they don't really say in the movie, right? Like I would have assumed I would have assumed that everybody that went into that void, I would have thought that they all would have gone through that. They would have all
experienced
gone through
like their own traumas,
their
right?
worst. That's what I would have figured.
Yeah.
But on the other side, though, like when everybody's out of the void, like you just see people like walking like they're, I'm late for work. I gotta go get to the subway station, kind of thing. Like no one's like running around panicking or like what the hell just happened. Yeah. It was strangely calm, like strangely like back to normal. So yeah, that's interesting. I would have thought that they all would have gone through that, but yeah, they don't show it. That's an interesting question. I don't know what the actual answer may be. I don't know, but it's interesting.
I did look on Wikipedia that there was in one issue that, like how you said, like he erased the memory of even like the writers. There was a thing where he like erased everyone's memory of like Sentry.
Yeah.
So maybe like that was it. Maybe it's like, oh, okay, like, oh, I had a fuzzy moment. What just happened? Oh, okay, carry on. That's probably the best explanation for it.
Right. Yeah. And maybe that is 100% what happened. I think it's just something I think that's cool that we can discuss because they don't really tell us. You know what I mean? Unless maybe, they interview the writers and directors and they find out some kind of way. But I think that's just an interesting thing to talk about. How were the people inside that void? How were they actually affected? So, yeah, all we can do is like throw out our own, opinions about it. But that's pretty interesting. I like that. Let's see, what else did I like about this? Overall, I did enjoy it. I know there was, going on the internet, you start hearing a bunch of stuff. Like, it seems like a lot of people are talking like this is like the, talking about the greatest movie, since Endgame, and
Marvel's officially back. It's
right?
Like
Marvel's
they've been gone, they've been out, they've been back.
Right?
They're back.
I'm definitely gonna like hold my breath, or I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit before I start saying like they're back and all this kind of stuff. But I think this is a good entry point into whatever they may be doing next. It kind of setting up the next big thing. There were some kind of silly moments in here, but not a lot, not too many. It wasn't as bad as I've seen in other movies and whatnot, but I think whatever they may be building up to next, this is a pretty good start to it. And there was a very cool spoiler at the end of the movie.
I don't know. Do you know what the spoiler is? Oh yeah, you watched it last night. How do you feel about the spoiler, honey?
The spoiler? What spoiler?
Oh, really?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Somebody walked out.
I don't know what's happening right now, folks. About to get good.
Theater.
Oh, you mean the end credit?
Because they were pissy.
Oh yeah,
because
it was late, and then Ray is like, "Oh, well, we should go," and I'm like, "But there's a end credit scene," and then she was like, "Well, fine, we'll stay," and then I was like, "Well, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna go."
So he was petty and he left. And we stayed for an extra like 15 damn minutes.
Yeah, it was. There were a lot of credits.
And then she explains it, and I'm like, "Oh." She's like, "It literally just told us that the Fantastic Four movie is coming out." I'm like,
they're coming to where the Thunderbolts like essentially it's like at this point we know Fantastic Four is happening.
Yeah.
Is there another reason to kind of put that in? Like we get like, oh, the two teams now. No,
did you know? But did you know that that the Fantastic Four movie is taking place in like an alternate universe?
No, it's the same ship though.
I know, but it said intergalactic ship or like interdimensional ship. They're coming from an alternate dimensional timeline. That's what.
Yeah, they're not like. I know this is off topic, but I feel like at this point that's a little too damn much. You have you have the Fantastic Four about to come out, and now you're gonna put the Fantastic Four coming from another dimension into this world. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
Why?
The Fantastic Four movie takes place in an alternate dimension, and then they
come there.
It's to establish that the Fantastic Four exists without doing like a Fantastic Four another origin movie. And so that they can keep the MCU
Do you know what I'm saying?
in the current timeline, and then they could just essentially they're shoehorning the Fantastic Four into the MCU without having to like restart.
You didn't have to shoe it in though.
Yeah, you feel like it's too much. Like we already know it's coming.
We know it's coming. Yeah. Like you don't have to make a disclaimer like that kind of way. Like you know, like do I think it was needed at the end of Thunderbolts? No, you could have given us something a little bit better than that. Okay. Like you have them all sitting in the room discussing if they're the new Avengers or the old Avengers, if they are the Avengers with a Z, Avengers with this, or who are we? You know, they have that, and then all of a sudden just like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a ship coming down.
But also, I will say that, I guess. Yeah, you're right. You know, if that's all like, it was.
If you're gonna take like Secret Wars and like all these other movies, you know, that we know are also coming out like this year, why are we jumping? Like, why not shoehorn Secret Wars in? Are they in the same dimension? Are they in the same?
Secret Wars
but do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah, I do.
I haven't seen anything about Secret Wars, but I've already seen
because it's a secret.
Shut up. You're so stupid. But I've already seen like 2 or 3 things about Fantastic Four. I get it. It's coming. We're excited. Where's the stuff about Secret Wars? You know?
Secret Wars is not coming out until after Doomsday anyway.
I don't care. Shoehorn something else in. Yeah. We get it.
Yeah, I guess the only point is just trying to tease people more, or trying to show like, they're definitely coming. Mm-hmm. They're definitely coming, I guess. They're going to be there. So no, I see what you're saying. Like, we already know that they're going to be in there. But like you're saying though, like the Fantastic Four, I'm trying to play both sides here. The Fantastic Four. Yeah, that movie's going to be in its own world, its own dimension. You know what I'm wondering is if this takes place before their movie. I wonder them coming to Earth, like maybe when they flew into space, because that's when they get their powers. They fly into space. Maybe they flew into space. They came into quote unquote our dimension, the 616 dimension, and then they go back. And when they land, we're going to see them in their movie. It's going to be after.
And that's how like they get like the cosmic energy powers or whatever.
That's exactly.
But were they called I thought they were only called Fantastic Four after they got their powers, or were they called that prior as a team?
That's a good point. That's a good point, because they do have the 4 on the ship. We do definitely see that. That's a good point. So were they the Fantastic Four before? I mean, it sounded like they're already popular. Well, you can't tell that much from the trailer, right? Maybe they were popular because of their powers. It sounds like Reed Richards is, quote unquote Reed Richards, like the smartest man on Earth kind of thing. So yeah, maybe this takes place after the movie and they go into space again for some reason. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We just gotta wait and see. See. I'm gonna throw out another positive. I do like U.S. Agent John Walker's character. I know the first time when you see him in the Falcon Winter Soldier, he comes off, he's a little bit dickish. But I watched the series again like a few months ago, and seeing him again now, I feel like he really got a bad deal, because he was just trying to, live up to these high standards. He was trying to do the right thing. He was completely outgunned. So he did take that super soldier serum. And again, I do love the fact that it makes Steve Rogers that much more special. Because when he took the super soldier serum, it just made him into this better person. And you can't just give that serum away and be like, here, you try it and you be Captain America. Because when everybody else takes it, they turn into jerks, or there's something wrong with them, or the power corrupts them. It's almost like having like the one ring. So it just makes Steve Rogers, I think, that much more special, because as far as like people getting the super soldier serum is concerned, he's the only one that has turned out, quote unquote, the right way. So, but I feel like John Walker definitely got a bad deal. Like throughout that series, Falcon Winter Soldier, he was just trying to do the right thing. He never was trying to fight with Bucky or Sam. He was, he tried his best to cooperate with them, and they were kind of being dismissive of him. And then his friend gets killed, Battlestar, who is he is a character.
He's an actual character.
He's an actual character. The power set, the funny thing is, too, if anybody cares, the power set that Battlestar, his friend, and U.S. Agent John Walker that they have is a little bit different. It's not a super soldier serum. It's more like he's a lot stronger. He's bulletproof.
Battlestar is?
Battlestar and Walker. They both have the same power set where. And again, I'm going to go full geek on you guys. I apologize. But like Captain America, like they say, like he can lift about 850 pounds in the comic book. In the movie, he seems a lot stronger. But U.S. Agent and Battlestar, they can lift like 10 tons. They're closer to Spider-Man's strength.
Oh, wow.
So he's a completely different character, different power set. The funny thing is, like Captain America fights U.S. Agent in the comic book and like kind of fights into a standstill, which is pretty impressive considering how strong and virtually indestructible he is, and Captain America is still able to beat him.
Wow.
Or at least kind of have a tie with him, so to speak. But again, I feel like this character is he got a bad deal in the series. So I'm glad to see him kind of get the spotlight in a sense. I'm glad to see him have a chance to redeem himself as far as like the public and us, the audience, is concerned.
Yeah,
he
definitely was more redeemable, more sympathetic.
Yes, and I think that's a great tying point with all these characters too, because again, like my first thoughts were, oh, here we go with another like buddy thing again. We're trying to do like Guardians of the Galaxy or Suicide Squad. We're doing this thing all over again. But I do like the fact that all these guys were, sure, they were bad, but they all felt bad about themselves. That's the thing. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy, like, sure, they were a little bit obnoxious, but they all loved, I got the feeling they all kind of loved who they were. They weren't trying to change. In Suicide Squad, they're all bad guys, straight up bad guys. They're all jerks. They're not trying to change. They don't feel bad about what they're doing. All these guys, all these misfits that are on the Thunderbolts, they all have, like just a crappy history, and they're not proud of it. They're not like, oh, I don't care. They're not walking around with a chip on their shoulder. They feel bad about the things that had been done to them and that they are doing, and they want to be better. They want to change. So I think that's a great thing that kind of ties them all together, that makes them want to be a team kind of thing. So I like that. Any negatives?
My biggest negative is, because we recently watched Black Widow.
I think
for
you're
the
going to say
first
the
time.
same thing.
Oh, for the first time?
Yeah,
Okay.
on 3. 1, 2, 3. Taskmaster.
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 Got taken out in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, that was pretty
Is that
crazy.
Taskmaster?
This is the real Taskmaster. Everybody.
Okay, that's sick.
This is the real one. I'm
Okay.
going to put him right up there. Now, you guys share the
they're
spotlight.
buddies.
There
Even
we
though
go.
didn't he kill her?
Ghost killed her. Yeah.
Ghost killed
Ghost
her.
killed her.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy in that
I
was
like,
would have loved to see her more.
Taskmaster's
in
a
the movie.
cool character.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taskmaster is a cool character. I really don't care for the one that we saw in Black Widow, the movie. The whole, because Taskmaster's abilities, they are natural abilities.
Yeah.
As opposed to like somebody put an SD card in the back of my head and now I can mimic everybody.
Isn't it more of like isn't it like pattern recognition or something like that, where it's like I can have like a sense of where you're gonna hit, or is it I just fight you as if we're fighting a mirror? Is that how it works?
It's they say in again, they have like these different like encyclopedias or glossaries for characters, right? So with Taskmaster, his or her abilities is the same way someone has like photographic memory. He has photographic abilities.
Yeah.
So when he sees somebody fight, he can, instantly kind of, track their fighting style, their pattern. It's almost like, having a shotgun gun in like Naruto. You got Naruto?
No.
not
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, so this... Well, that's not the shotgun gun, but you know what I mean, people. So, that's what these coasters are from. These are a guy, like, there's a clan there. Okay, we're getting really off topic, but their eyes
Keep
will,
it
like,
condensed,
switch.
Mark.
You're
Look, we're
You're right.
Mark's space.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. I will.
I have to advocate
will
for
go-
Trent, who's not here,
I
to
will
keep
go
Mark
off on a
on
tangent.
task.
He's not
All right.
lying. It's true. It's true.
But yeah, getting back to Taskmaster.
But it is my house. So yes, getting back to
His house.
Taskmaster. Yes, so he basically has photographic ability. So
Right.
he can watch somebody fight and he'll memorize their patterns. He can learn like a crazy technique, which might take like years for someone to learn. He can learn it like in a few minutes.
Oh, cool.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
So I know, like in the comic book, I think he's actually training, like how the bad guys always have like this army of like faceless henchmen that just get beat up. They say like Taskmaster trains them. So like, hey, if you're gonna fight Captain America, this is how he fights. This is what you do, kind of thing. If you're
Really?
gonna fight this person, this is what you do. So he is a very interesting character. Wasn't a fan of the movie version, but I was as much as I don't like that movie Taskmaster, I was surprised that she got
taken out.
dispatched so quickly.
So quickly. And I was waiting for her to like come back. I'm like, how are they going to bring her back?
Yeah,
Like she's going to.
she's not dead.
I literally
She's
like
not
thought. I literally rolled my little nose. I was like, did they just kill Taskmaster? Question mark? They just killed her.
Is this right?
Because that fight was cool in that vault, with, like them throwing the knife and they're catching it and throwing it.
Right. You can tell they're super beings.
Yeah,
they are enhanced individuals.
It was cool. And then like she's like, I'm not here for you. And then like I get annihilated immediately. So.
Yeah, I'm not here for you. I'm here for her, and I'm not here for her. I'm here for him.
And then there's just Bob.
Yeah, there's just
Bob.
I did love John Walker. Okay, Bobby.
Yeah.
Or that scene where they're climbing the elevator shaft. Like I thought that stuff was great, man.
Yeah.
Like, I have way more positives than negatives for this movie.
That's cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think the movie's doing it's doing well. I think there's a lot of praise going around about the movie. So yeah, maybe just need more buddy comedies. That's the trick, Marvel.
So is Valentina president, right?
She's the director of the CIA.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought she was president.
No.
Okay. She kept saying something
about being impeached or whatever. Yeah.
Because you can impeach like directors of those
get
from
kicked
those
out of your
types of
gig.
positions. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, she's the leader of the CIA, I guess. Yeah. So I'm trying to think who she is in the comic book, but I don't remember seeing her. I was thinking of she might have been somebody else, but yeah, that's not important.
Oh, like adapted from a certain character.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know anything about her though, but respect. I mean, I like Julie Louis-Dreyfus, so that's cool. Any other negatives?
Do you have another big
I
negative?
do. You know what? I really don't have that many big negatives. They're more kind of nitpicks, I suppose. Like one was, it was funny when you see like when they escape from the vault and there's this, limo in the middle of the middle of the desert.
Yeah, but Yelena being like, oh,
yeah, she's like, oh god, that's a great,
like,
daughter being embarrassed of her dad, kind of thing.
And then he's like telling them, don't go and do that.
Yeah, no,
but it's like
after.
I thought it was. I loved Red Guardian.
It was funny, but I was trying to think like, how did he know where to go? I mean, I know he said he overheard whatever. Did she like say like it's going to be at coordinates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
32 degrees south?
Yeah, by 4 longitude. Yeah, did he?
Because he was very specifically there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly.
That's
right where he
true.
needed to be. And then like he saw them, like they were hiding, and then he somehow saw them.
Unless he like followed them the night prior, the day or night prior, and kind of just kept his distance behind.
Well, here's the thing, I guess, because they flew. Yeah, I know. Right. It tops out at 56. So, like, she flew there in a helicopter to get there quickly, and he drove from, the outskirts of Baltimore or DC, right on the border, and he drove there, and I guess they were in Oklahoma. It sounded like he drove his 50-mile-per-hour limousine there, like to the exact right spot where they were. Kind of thing.
That vault was in Oklahoma.
I think she said. I think they said the vault was in Oklahoma.
Okay. In the middle of the desert.
Yeah. So to drive from the the edge of DC, Baltimore to that specific spot, how'd you find him? And then I'm thinking like, why didn't you just call Yelena? That's faster than driving your car. Get on the phone.
Because Yelena would have been like, "Don't come."
Well, yeah, 100% don't come, but then call and be like, hey, daughter, babushka, there's going to be, that whole thing's a trap. I overheard the whole thing. She's in my car. Don't go there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stay salty.
Yeah, but then again, maybe that was not like his first instinct. She literally said, you haven't called me in a year after.
Yeah.
Because his whole thing was also trying. After Natasha died.
Yeah.
Because his whole thing was also trying to like get back into
that too.
Right.
The swing of doing hero stuff or villains or whatever.
Right.
So maybe he's just like, this is my chance to just get out there.
I should just go.
Yeah. 100%. Like I can see that character wanting to do that, wanting to like save the day kind of thing. It just seems like if you're, like if I know you guys are about to get murdered, I'm not going to drive and tell you, hey, you guys, there's someone trying to murder you. I'm going to get on the phone
like
with you.
Over our bodies, like, hey, guys, what's up?
Get up. Oh, man. Yeah, so, I mean, again, it's a nitpick. It doesn't, like, make the whole story unravel or anything crazy like that.
It definitely is one of those moments, like, it's probably, like, the second watch, like, because we're probably, like, I'm having a great time, it's funny, but then you watch it again, you're probably like, wait, how did get
the exact same spot, right?
And then Bucky shows up. Is that another one? Bucky shows up, but
Bucky got the information.
But Bucky had the information from Mel or whatever.
Yeah, he tracked her down.
Yeah.
I was cool with that. That made sense. I loved seeing him show up at that, to save the day kind of thing.
That freaking wrench wire, punching the thing, and then it flips.
Car flips.
That was sweet.
Yeah, that was very cool. And I loved seeing him, when he showed up, for a split second, I thought, Tom Cruise?
On the mic, I was on the motorcycle.
Yeah, you look like Mission Impossible. And I'm like, okay, it's Bucky. Okay. Took me a second. But I love seeing him show up, right. I mean, that's a great, hero rescue kind of thing. It makes sense. Like you said, he tracked her. He knew what was going on. He knew he had to go in Winter Soldier mode. And then those little discs that he fires, that he used that in the Winter Soldier. Yeah, so he still got them.
Yeah.
They're letting you keep those things. He's probably got stash houses.
He's probably got
dude, I just love the fact that out of the Avengers, Sebastian Stan is the only one who is popping up in movies. He literally was just in
Brave New World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's where's everybody else at?
He knows this is his chance to shine. He was kind of on the outskirts.
He's like, you want me to do what?
I'm there. I'm there. How much is that check? I'm there.
But then the only thing I didn't like is the fact that Sentry turns into the Void. Bob is in the Void. Bob comes out the Void as Bob, and now instead of having blonde hair, his hair's brown, and he has on regular clothes.
Yeah,
so
I could see. Yeah,
what happened with that?
Right, because if he dyed his hair, I was under the impression. Well, I don't know, but his hair just turned blonde, through some sort of his powers, or
his
whatever.
eyes, because his eyes changed and stuff.
But they said he dyed his hair, right? So.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got I can do anything power, so I mean that's maybe. But I see what you're saying though, because it shouldn't have been what's that?
It seems like he does have I can do anything powers.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know all of the Sentry's powers. I just know he's people. They do compare him to Superman in the sense that he's indestructible, fast.
Yeah,
I was just hoping to see that.
He's doing telekinesis, force fields, and
heating
pulling
up knives and heating up arms,
stopping bullets and stuff. I feel like he would wipe the floor with Superman.
All right, I'm gonna geek out a little. I'm glad you said that.
All right, how about let's put a pin in that. Let's finish our discussion.
No, you're right.
And then
you're right. No, you're right.
At the very end, we'll geek out. We'll do Geeks vs. Nerds After Hours.
Yeah, that's going to be Geek Off the Street Nights. You got to go watch that. It's going to be the after hours program.
Yeah, exactly. Adult Swim Midnight or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
After dark or something like that.
Yeah, that'll be us.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just say I'm not going to get into it, but the Marvel and DC power sets are very different, so it's hard to compare them. You know what I mean? Superman can lift 1,000,000 tons, but they say Thor can lift 100 tons, kind of thing. So, all right, that's another talk for another time. Any other negatives?
Honestly, for me, I don't think so. I thought it was a solid film.
Probably for how short the Sentry fight was, but it made sense. All of the little short fights, where they go to the lobby, the Avengers lobby, and they're fighting, and then Allegra's or Valentina's okay, come on up.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to.
It makes sense. All these little short fights make sense.
Yeah, but I will say that with this Marvel film in particular, it only took 16 minutes to get into the first fight scene. 16 minutes. Usually, I feel sometimes we're waiting.
Was it even that longer?
When Yelena goes into that hallway fight.
When the fight within the vault. That's the time I based it off.
16 minutes?
The vault.
16 minutes into the film.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So at first I was like, this is gonna be a movie about Yelena. I feel because she was just one talking in the beginning, but I was surprised.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think I feel all the characters had a little bit more of a spotlight except for Ghost. They didn't really. She didn't. I mean, she was there.
She's a ghost.
That's the reason why. I mean, she was there. I mean, we kind of got into Walker's. We saw inside his mind. We saw some of that. We definitely saw it with Yelena. We didn't see anything much with Red Guardian. That'd be interesting because he seems like he's so jolly all the time. It'd be curious to see what his dark side or his bad moments are. I mean, he kind of mentions it, but really don't see that much with Ghost. She's just kind of there. For example, and I say this respectfully because I would love to see more of her in the movies. But if she was out of this movie, would it really have made that much of an impact
Ghost or
a ghost. So she was.
Ghost
I mean,
not in the movie.
Yeah, like I mean, she has some moments where she's fighting, where she gets her, she helps him escape. I get that, but like if it, for example, like I said, if she wasn't in this movie at all, would the movie still be able to move forward? You know what I mean? Like I never got the feeling like she was anything like crucial to the story. She added like some sort of some element to the story, like Walker. His, well, one, we already know him, from Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all that kind of stuff. And we see some of his backstory, you know what I mean? So we can kind of see what's going on with him and everything. But, yeah, and I don't mean this as any sort of disrespect or that I want the character gone. I just maybe would have liked to have seen more of her, quote unquote, tragedy, so to speak, because we saw it with Yelena, we saw it with Walker, we never saw it with her.
You get a lot of it in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes, in a different movie. Yes, in a different movie, they all have their moments. I just would have loved to have seen just her get some shine. See her get her flowers.
She's pretty much like, hey, go through the wall and open the door. Hey, go out there and go get us a car.
Right, go get us a car.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. How did she find them? They were all dressed up in their
in the SWAT suits.
Right. How did she? She just saw 3 people walking together, and she's like, "This is probably them. This must be them." And then she pulls up and like, "Hey, what if it wasn't them?" Anything? No, I don't think they were talking to each other. They didn't have any sort of comm. So, and she, yeah. So again, these are nitpicks.
I think that was a part of the plan. Was for her job. I thought was to get the car.
That's
right.
The vault.
Yeah. But how did she find them? Because they're all dressed the same. If there are 100 people all dressed the same and their heads and their faces are covered, how did she know to pull up to those 3 and be like, "Hey guys, it's me," kind of thing? What if she pulled up and then be like, "Hey guys, it's me," and turns around and it's like, it's Jake, it's Steve. And it's Benjamin. Like, now what? Now she's got to. So again, this is a nitpick.
She's a superhero. That's how.
She's got superhero stuff. That's how she did it.
She would be able to dodge bullets if they were shooting at her. She would disappear.
Yeah, I think my last, and again, it's. I did like this is more of a like, I suppose. I should have said this sooner. I do like. There was a line that what's her name? Valentina says, where she's talking to Mel, and she says something like what is it, like power or something without power is just an opinion.
Oh yeah.
I thought that she had like in that moment she had some really great lines when she was like talking about this is how things work. Do you want to be a good guy or a bad guy? Then she basically says there's 2 kinds of people in the world. There are bad guys and there's worse guys. And I was like, I don't know if I can really argue with that. That's some pretty, especially from her perspective, that's some pretty, sound wisdom, so to speak. But yeah, when she's
evil wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah, but when she said, I can't remember what the line was exactly, but she said something like, basically whatever you want to do, if you don't have the power to enforce it, it's just an opinion. So just, shut up and keep it to yourself. One thing, again, nitpick, is when like when the buildings were falling apart and Red Guardian went and like covered up this girl, I thought he's gonna die. Like this giant like piece of building hits him, and again maybe we don't know the full extent of his powers. In all honesty, I mean he's essentially a super soldier, which is just essentially a modified person. If a piece of rubble falls from 100, 200, 300 feet high and hits you like in the back of your neck kind of thing, I feel like you're going to drop it. He hits it, and he's like, "Are you okay, little girl?" I thought, like, oh, man, Red Guardian just died, and we're going to get, like, this emotional moment. Like, no, he was fine. So, I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't know the full extent of his powers. Maybe he is partially indestructible. Again, it was a nitpick. I did like that moment, too, where he's checking on the little girl, and all of a sudden she gets wiped out.
Yeah, I was like
that was actually a really good moment.
That was great.
She's like, oh, yeah, and then she turns into that shadow. I'm like,
you just saved her, and she's dead, as far as we know.
I will say though about the super soldier serum in Captain America, like it's not super clear in the movies, but in the comics and stuff, it like keeps like interacting. So like when you're met with like certain like levels of like adversity, it keeps affecting you to like rise up to that, and that's like one of the reasons why Captain America was able to hold Thanos' gauntlet, because like even in that like 3-second moment, he's like getting stronger from the serum. So maybe because of fighting Sentry and getting thrown into the wall and like the emotional damage and stuff like that, maybe he's like getting stronger because of the serum. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Bucky was able to pull the truck, and
Yeah,
he didn't flinch at all.
So where did you get that information from?
Like Wikipedia or something.
Okay. I don't know. It's not like I was like, tell me your sources. But no, that's cool. I love that concept. I love, if that. I mean, yeah, make that canon. Do something like that.
Just because you have it in you doesn't mean it's like you change once. It like keeps changing you.
Right,
to
rise up to the occasion or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I had a story myself with something similar to that. So I love that concept. So any other negatives or anything else? All right, so you guys want to rate this?
Sure.
How do you guys want to rate it? You guys can rate it your way if you want to, like the way you guys do it.
We just do out of 10, but I feel like it's pretty similar to out of 100.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, what do you guys?
Out of 100?
Yeah, we can do the math. We'll take off a 0.
You want to do it out of 10? Which one do you want to do?
Out
of 10 out of 100.
Go ahead and do what you guys do. Go ahead and do the 10.
I like doing out of 10 and we all say it together. I think it's fun.
Okay, I like that.
Because we're like, what?
Okay, all right. Let me.
You know, lock in real quick.
But you can still put a decimal in there if you want. Yeah. Or let's just do out of 100 then, because it's like a 1.5 is a 15. So yeah, we'll do out of 100.
And we're gonna say it at the same time.
Yeah, we'll do it at the same time.
Okay, are you guys ready?
I have my score.
Okay, I've got my score.
Okay.
And
out of 100.
Out of 100.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
99. 90?
Yeah, I said 90. You said 89?
89,
I said
93.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I give like a strong B+.
Yeah.
I was kind of teetering on the 89. I said, I'm like, I'll kick it up to 90 because I think it's a good step forward.
Yeah.
There's definitely like not enough things that I find wrong with it that I would lower it.
Right.
Yeah, like there's way more positives.
Did it make me cry? Yes. Did I laugh? Yes. Could I follow the story along? Yes. Was there 20 different scenes in a 2-hour movie? No. You know what I mean? Like, considering we did watch the back films, but do I know who these characters are? Yes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say one thing. I didn't laugh that much in this movie.
Really?
I mean, I
was laughing my butt off.
I saw the funny parts.
Uh-huh.
I saw like, okay, there's the joke. And when I watched it the first time, and this is a Thursday night, so there weren't a lot of people in there. And I didn't hear a whole lot of laughing. I watched it on a Friday night, more people. And I heard laughing, but it almost, I don't want to say it felt lazy. It felt like, I don't know, like at some parts it was like, this was the joke, so I'm supposed to laugh, so I'm gonna laugh. That's what it felt like, kind of thing. It wasn't like, I think there may be a few people were legitimately laughing, but I also felt like I heard some again, like, there's the joke, I'm supposed to laugh, so I'm gonna laugh, let's move on, kind of thing. But I think I maybe kind of chuckled or smirked at like maybe 3 different parts in it. I mean, I sat pretty, stoically watching it, handsomely. How do I watch movies? I don't know. I'm being modest right now, but yeah. So, anyways, that's my take on it. So, So okay. So we're kind of in the middle as far as that score is concerned. We're kind of in the same place. So would you guys say drop what you're doing and go watch it, or wait for it to come out streaming?
I would say go watch it.
I wrote spend money on theaters for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it was definitely like a good family movie. Like there wasn't too much swearing or inappropriate. There was like a couple inappropriate things that Sophia picked up on, like when they were showing off their guns in the back of the truck, and they're like, "Oh, it's big."
Oh yeah, I was like,
Sophia
why are you
was
guys
like,
doing this?
Sophia was like something. She was like, "Oh, your mind went there," and I was like, "Sophia, clearly yours did." And you're like, "Oh,
so now you're in
so you need to stop."
Now you're grounded.
You need to cut it out.
Yeah. That bit, I was like. I mean, and then they quickly played it off and turned it kind of into, they stopped talking about it and started talking about his hat. I'm like, come on, Yelena, that's a helmet. Why are you throwing him under the bus like that? But that was a little. I was like, why are you putting this in there?
But there wasn't too much of it though.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You get it like with the Guardians, they do like little raunchy stuff like that. So,
Right.
but for them just like to shoehorn in a little bit of it, was nice. It made me feel like I'm watching. It's a Marvel
something for
movie.
grown-ups or whatever.
You know what I mean?
I mean, and then, you know, she talked about her gun too. So, maybe it was the test. Maybe we're the degenerates for thinking that way.
Probably.
Maybe it wasn't even like that.
Maybe they're literally just
talking about their weapons. Wow.
Maybe.
Wow.
Or maybe Sophia's because she started it.
Now I feel shamed.
I need to have a talk with her.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, you got to see Bob turn into Sentry finally because he went to the bathroom.
Oh, I went to the bathroom at the exact moment where he was getting shot up by the SWAT guys and like took off and exploded or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like how do they see him? But when he never mind. Go ahead.
That was like the one part I missed. I was like, I knew it was coming too. I probably should have just waited.
On my phone.
Did you?
Nice.
I knew it was coming. I probably should have just been like, oh, let's wait for literally 4 seconds.
Yeah. So I want to say, how did you guys feel about his character reveal? Like, do you think they did it poorly? Could they have done it better?
It looked very comic accurate.
Yeah?
This between the suit and the hair and stuff.
I'm saying no, from the point that when they went to shoot him up and he
find out
when you find out he has powers. Yeah. And, you know, like you see he has like obviously some powers when what's his face? Walker, that's his name,
Walker
right?
and Yelena, they touch him.
One of you Captain America, chokes him and his eyes do like the little
little shiny thing.
Glowy thing.
Shimmer.
Yeah. But yeah, how did you feel about when he got officially introduced, I guess, as having powers?
You know, I don't know if I thought about it that much. I actually think I was okay with it. I feel like it might have been. I mean, they were told not to, be lethal. I feel like that was just they kind of forced it. Like, okay, we're just gonna lethal anyway, kind of thing. I thought that was a little. You've been given your order. You don't do it. But I think I was okay with it. I like that Bob. He knew that there was something wrong with him, or he didn't feel right. That's why he kept, I'll just stay here. Like he didn't want to get involved or do anything. He just, for whatever mental issues he had going on, he just wanted to stay there. So he saw a moment, and he didn't know he had powers, but he saw a moment where he could help his, saying the friends is maybe a little bit too strong of a word, but as far as he was concerned, these guys were his friends on some level. So he had an opportunity to help them, and he took it, by distracting them. So I loved that. I thought that was very cool. That was a very noble thing to do.
Did you think he was sacrificing himself? Is that kind of why?
I think he's going to turn himself in. I think he was going to distract them so his friends could get away, and then he was just going to be like, "Okay, I surrender," because that's what he was talking about trying to do in the first place.
And then he just got all shot up.
And then they lit him up, right? Yeah. So I was cool with it. I was okay with it. Did you have an opinion on that, or?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I would have loved if his powers would have came in when they were in that shaft and when he went to go sneeze.
Oh,
that would have been if you sneeze and you just shoot up and you hit and you you guys all hit at the top and then come down and then you stop and then you're
and then he grabs
everyone's
you.
looking around like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, what was that, right?
And Bob was like, what the hell? I don't know.
Yeah, because he would have been like, wow, did you guys see that? Because he loses his mind immediately. Yeah. I love it at the end when Valentina introduces them to the press and they're all the new Avengers and everyone starts applauding and then he starts applauding too, congratulations, you guys, you got the new Avengers. Like, dope, yeah, that's you too. But that was cool. I like that.
Well, according to the end trailer, he can't. Well, as of right now, he can't turn into Sentry.
Yeah, I figure that's gonna. Oh, good.
Oh, I was just gonna say because I think the way it works is that when Sentry coming out opens the door for Void to come out.
Yeah.
But if he keeps Sentry at bay, then the Void doesn't come out. But the Void is kind of it's like a split personality thing. So
right, I thought that concept was cool. I mean, I don't know enough about this, so it felt like you said, it was very grounded. The Void character was very grounded. It felt like it was, how you can't outsmart yourself. It's almost like having a bad dream and you can't escape the dream. You can't get away from it.
What's happening. You know what's coming
right
around the corner, but you still walk that way.
There's nothing you can do about it because it's you. You can't outsmart yourself. It felt like it was just an evil version, some. I don't know enough about the ego, the inner desire. It was like that bad part of him that's always going to be a part of him. There's no way to get rid of that completely. As long as you have that subconscious mind kind of thing that, does good and bad for you, it's always going to be there. The fact that you're alive and you're sentient, it's always going to be there. So the Void is always going to be there. So I'm figuring we'll ask you guys some predictions, but I'm gonna say like a prediction. I would imagine like at some point they're gonna say like we need the Sentry, and the Sentry's gonna come out and he's gonna start whooping on things and I really would have loved to have seen more of them dealing with Sentry / the Void. The way they resolved it, I think, was great.
Yeah. Well, is Sentry a part of Doomsday? Like, do we know, or Secret Wars or anything like that?
I don't know how much of a part of it he is because he's so powerful. A lot of the time, like Marvel, the writers, they just kind of put him to the side. They can't use him because anything that he comes across, he can beat it. He's really that powerful. So.
Because the only thing I can think of is if you match up Sentry with Secret Wars, that could be a thing because it's different multiverses coming in. And then if you match up, obviously, Doomsday with Fantastic Four, because isn't it Doctor Doom anyways?
Doctor Doom is probably going to be,
You get what I'm saying? And then maybe that's why that shit was coming to Earth or something like that. I need a string and a board.
Yeah. There you go. That's a video idea.
Right come home and be like, what the hell is going on? I'm trying to
solve
this
mystery. Right.
Because it definitely teased Galactus in Fantastic Four, and he's like pretty huge in Secret Wars. But it also depends what Secret Wars they're drawing from, because there's like the 1984 run,
right? That original,
with like the 12 original series. It's like what I read online. They're actually
nice.
There's a website. It's called like Read Comics Online, and you can like read them online.
I think it's where Spider-Man got the Venom.
It's where he got the black suit.
Yeah, it's where he got the black suit.
Suit.
I think I had that comic somewhere. Yeah,
man. So it's like issue number 8, I think. In that
right
one.
On, nice.
So cool.
And but there's like there's a 2015 Secret Wars run that is like more modernized. And they're probably going to pull from that because like the Guardians are in that, Peter Quill's in that, Fantastic Four is huge in that. They pull like a bunch of Thors from alternate timelines. They're called like the Thor Corps. They're like a fighting force. Doctor Strange is like a sheriff, and he's like one of Doctor Doom's underlings.
Oh wow! What? Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess at that point, are we going to see the new Guardians in that?
Probably.
Oh
yeah, maybe.
Because
I would think like Adam Warlock is involved and stuff like that. And so.
Yeah, there's a lot they can pull from.
But I will say, hopefully they go this direction. I don't know what they're gonna if Robert Downey Jr. is still confirmed as Doctor Doom or whatever, but he's like super disfigured in that Secret Wars 2015 comic. So maybe he'll actually be disfigured and won't look like Robert Downey Jr.
I guess we'll find out.
But, yeah, I'm curious about that. I'm a little weird about the whole him playing Doctor Doom. I mean, everybody likes him, but him playing Doctor Doom seems a little weird.
Get killed off to come back as someone else.
Right? Yeah. Come on, Marvel, you guys can do it without him. But anyways, so. Watch it in the movie theater, go to the theater. I'll say go to the theater and watch it too. The big reason is just to be up on what's happening with Marvel and what's coming out. So, all right, very cool. I think that's anything else you guys wanted to add about Thunderbolts?
No, I think that.
I don't think I have anything to add. I think I got all my thoughts out.
Right on.
Let me look in here and see real quick. Probably not. I had very few notes. Oh, no.
It's gonna be all negative. Terrible. This is the worst. Very good. All right. Well, that's Thunderbolts. So now you guys know what Thunderbolts is all about. 100%. We're all recommending to go watch it. So go watch that thing. bam. Go watch that movie. Is there anything you guys are into right now? Is there anything you guys are currently watching or would recommend?
I don't think so.
I don't really think so either.
I don't think we watched anything.
I know you guys said you guys watched the live action Disney.
Oh yeah, we did.
Did you guys just finish that? Or
Our next episode coming out, we've completed it. It's gonna be ranking all of the live action Disney movies with Snow White included, and then we'll kind of like as a gearing up for like the Lilo and Stitch movie coming out.
Oh yeah.
I watched a movie called The Accountant 2. The Accountant 2.
Okay, yeah.
With Ben Affleck, which I thought was actually entertaining. We actually spent a lot of money on theaters and Amazon Prime and stuff recently. So I watched Working Man with Jason Statham and Lady in the Front Yard.
Lady in the Yard.
That movie was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was weird. But that's about it. But yeah, trying to keep up on movies,
Yeah. That's what you got to do for the public, for y'all, for all of y'all.
Have you watched anything new?
You know what? started watching on Prime, and I don't know if I have like the BBC whatever. There's like this. I don't know. It's not weird. Like it's an old TV show. It ran for a long time, like 10 or 11 seasons, which is a long time in like England. It's called Red Dwarf. It's a comedy, but it's a sci-fi kind of comedy. It's at some points it's when they're getting into the science, it's very smart. It's very it's very accurate. Kind of ahead of its time. But on another note, it's very silly. It's very campy. I shouldn't say it's campy, but it is a funny show. So for whatever reason, I've heard about it before, and I started watching, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. So if you have Prime, check out Red Dwarf. It's a pretty funny British series.
Modern, or is it from like the 80s?
No, I want to say it came out the same time, like maybe around Star Trek Next Generation. So maybe in the 90s, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you look at the camera work, you can tell like, okay, this is a little bit of an older show, but it's not bad. but it's still a very funny show. Essentially, it's there's this human. He is like the last person on Earth, basically. So for whatever reason, I think he's put in suspended animation or something like that. But he's not even the last person on Earth. He's the last human alive, and his only companions that are with him, one is a hologram, like a solid hologram of his friend, he's a complete jerk, but that's his friend. Another person is like an evolved cat who's basically a human, but he's got fangs, so he's still a cat, and it's weird. And another one is like a droid. But it's a very weird ensemble cast, but it is funny. Okay. So I do recommend it. I can't think of too much more. I've been playing video games. I keep saying I'm not going to play Overwatch anymore. I keep playing Overwatch. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. But that's about it. Oh, you know what? I forgot to say. I don't know if I said it last time. I went to see Shin Yoon. I think I said that. Yeah, I did. Okay, never mind. So yeah, but anyways, for you guys, in case you didn't know, I saw the Shin Yoon that dancing.
The stage show? Is it
stage
crazy acrobatic and stuff like that?
There are acrobatics in it. It's not crazy. I mean, there's definitely a lot of somersaults and flips. Is it more
just like ensemble dance pieces and stuff?
Yeah, it's more like that. I compare it to Fantasia.
Sure.
It's music, dancing, kind of telling a story.
Okay.
But the stage work is it's very subtle, but it's fantastic. It's done incredibly well. Like some new things. I've seen all kinds of different stage shows. Lion King, Wicked, saw this stuff on stage. What these guys do, much more scaled back, but they really make the most of it. So I would recommend it. So
yeah, it's not like huge like set pieces and stuff, right? It's like
not
more
yeah,
like it's more based on the choreography. And
yeah, and there's a giant movie screen behind you, and the screen just sits there. You know what I mean? It's just for background, but they do incorporate it into the show in their own special way. So and it changes every year, so you can watch it all the time if you want to.
The same show twice.
Exactly.
That's
but
cool.
yeah,
that is cool. I didn't know that. That it always changes. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. So I thought they're just making their tour, but good show. But anyways, I guess that's it for Thunderbolts. Tell them where they can find you guys. Nerd Lounge 2.0 on the Instagrams.
He's our spokesperson.
Nerd Lounge 2.0. You can find us on TikTok and YouTube. That's where we do most of our uploading. We're also on Instagram, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, we're pretty big on the TikTok and the YouTubes right now. So go check it out, guys. Actually, I'm going to give props to Mark for keeping it under 2.5 hours. Woo!
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
We only got barely off topic a couple times.
Yeah.
But now that the show's over, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I'm going to keep you guys here, and I'm going to explain to you all about this whole Superman, DC, Marvel thing.
You can keep him here. Give me the keys.
We're going to say bye to everybody at home. We will catch you next time. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mark.
My name is Austin.
I'm Ray.
And this has been a special episode of Geek Off the Streets.
Woo!
I'm going to point to every camera.
Yeah, you get them all. Get them all. Get them all.